Good day, everyone. Welcome back to yet another Power Pack content in your channel, Know Your Industry. If you have been following us in the last few videos, you would have seen that we have started our journey in the communication, media, and telecom industry for the last two videos. We have looked at the industry, we have looked at the nuances of the different domains within this industry, that is the media, communications, and telecom domains. We have seen who are the leading players across the globe. And we have also looked at the key performance indicators across financial, marketing, sales, operation, customer service, so on and so forth. In today's video, we are going to cover a very interesting topic and I'm really excited about it. So we would look at the telecom industry and how it looks across the top 6 regions in the globe, right? So without any ado, we would jump on to the first region that we would look at today. That's the North America/Canada region. This is the second largest market today for telecom players, the size being around $430 to $440 billion. AT&T and Verizon are the top players in the US market, and Rogers Communications is the leading player in the Canada market. The main nuance of this market is it's a highly penetrated market for advanced technologies, and hence things like 5G, IoT, cloud services are already adopted by the larger customer base here. It's also and hence it's a mature market, right? Because it has a high penetration of mobile and broadband services. And so the leading focus now is on value-added services and customer retention strategies, right? It's also a regulated market. Federal Communications Commission, FCC in US, is the regulator who looks at the competition and the kind of pricing that you can do across your product portfolio. So this is the North American market for us. We would now look at the European market. This is the third largest market today with the size around $20 to $330 billion. Deutsche Telekom, Vodafone, Orange, TalkTalk, these are some of the leading players in the market in the different countries in Europe. This is a highly competitive market, and so there's also a focus on fair competition. People get comparatively lower prices here because of n number of players operating, and hence there are a lot of choices for consumers in terms of the products on offer as well. It's a diverse market dynamics that you can see here because of varying level of economic development and technological adoption across the different regions. And this is also a regulated market in terms of general data protection regulation, where data of consumers are highly protected by this principle. Right, so that's the European market for us in terms of the telecom players. Now we would look at the largest telecom market globally, and that's the Asia Pacific market, which comprises of countries like India, China, Japan, South Korea, and so on and so forth. China Mobile was one of the leading players in this market, where very recently Jio has surpassed China Mobile in terms of the number of subscriber base. NTT Docomo from Japan is also one of the leading player. Now the main nuance of the construct of this market is it's a highest rapid growth market because of the large countries and the large consumer bases these countries have in terms of telecom. Having said that, this is not also behind in terms of adopting the latest innovations. So 5G, IoT, cloud services, etc. are also growing highly in this market. The main focus area is rural connectivity because especially in Southeast Asia and South Asia, there are still a lot of regions which needs to be connected under the telecom umbrella, and companies are focusing around that space. So that's Asia Pacific market for you. So we looked at the top 3 markets internationally, that is the North America, Canada market, the European market, and the Asia Pacific market. Now we would look at 3 other markets, but these are not so big in terms of the size. So this is the Latin American market for you. America Móvil from Mexico, OE from Brazil, these are the top players in this market. The main nuance is economic instability and political challenges often create hindrances in terms of growth for telecom players here. But the silver lining is that regulatory improvements are happening, which is helping to improve the framework, the regulatory frameworks, to attract more investment and enhance the service quality. And mobile connectivity is also increasing day by day in this market. Latin America market is about $70 billion in size. Now we would look at the African market. MTN Group in South Africa, Safaricom from Kenya. These are some of the leading players in this market. This is comparatively smaller than Latin America in terms of size. It's about $40 billion. The main thing to call out here, it's a mobile first continent, right? So the entire experience with the telecom players happens through mobile. So mobile banking is also on the rise. But something to note here is there's a significant digital divide in terms of urban and rural areas, and which affects the overall growth of the telecom market in this region. So that's African market for you. Now we would look at the last market we wanted to see today, and that's also not a big market, but it's a highly growing market. That's a Middle East market, right? Players like Etisalat from UAE, Saudi Arabian Telecom, that is STC. These are some of the leading players here. We all know that Middle East is now becoming a hub for business growth, and hence there is a high focus on digital transformation in terms of the different services which are being provided. Geopolitical stability and regulatory decisions from the government front is also highly influencing development and accessibility of all sorts of telecom services. Hence, although it's a market of say $50-60 billion, the day is not so far away that we cross $100 billion in this market. And hence the amount of investment that we are seeing in amongst telecom infrastructure players also in this market is on the rise. So that's Middle East market for you. So just to summarize, we looked at 6 markets globally. We looked at North America, Asia Pacific, Europe, and we also looked at Latin America, Middle East, and the African markets in terms of the telecom players. We looked at the leading players, we looked at the size of the markets, and we looked at what are the key nuances and constructs of the market and how the market is shaping up with time. Thank you for your time. We would again meet in our next video in this series. Thank you.